Hi, I'm Jessica from Jessica Wonders, and today I'm going to start a brand new series. I cleaned out my pantry and it was empty, so I came up with some new things to put in there. Hope you really like this idea, and I'd love to hear your feedback on it. If you enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more videos in this series or other videos from me. It's just one of a couple of new ideas that I have, so yeah, I'd love to get your feedback. Let's see what I came up with. So I think what I can do is load up this pantry with more stuff from the main pantry downstairs and see what we're working with. Let's see how much. I'm looking for 2020, anything 2019, 2020 and older. Stuff from the pantry still that needs to get used up. Someone mentioned in the comments it's good to have empty jars, and I definitely want a lot of empty jars this year. I plan on restocking, a lot of stuff. So let's see what I can come up with. I've got a bunch of tomato stuff that has to get used. A bunch more jam. I brought up some pickles. I'm gonna grab some more. I'm still grabbing stuff. I honestly don't even know what I would call this challenge. It's not really a pantry challenge, it's kind of a canning challenge. What do I do with all this canning? I love canning. Last year I didn't use enough of it, and now I'm left with a lot of stuff that I need to use sort of right now. Plus a few things that are left over from the pantry challenge that I still have to use up. But basically, this is just foods that I have canned that I need to get rid of. Yep, that's what this is. All right, I had to clear out the beans to make room for some more stuff. Let's see what we got. So in the last challenge, in the pantry challenge, low spend, no spend pantry challenge, I used all kinds of stuff from my pantry, including salad dressings and stuff that were at or near their best before. But this challenge is going to be all about my own personal canning that needs to go so that the jars can be emptied and I can fill them with new stuff this year. I like to try to use it up by at least like the 1.5 year mark, especially for tomatoes. I will let jams go longer than that, or sweet things. If the last challenge was the pumpkin challenge, I believe this challenge is going to be the beets challenge. So there you go. I want the jars. I have plans for what I'm going to put in those jars. I don't know if you guys will think that this is interesting. If you do, please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I was just gonna go about this on my own without filming it, but I thought, well, some people might care. Some people might like to see me using up my canning. You know that people can, and then what do I do with all that canning? So maybe we'll come up with some new ideas of things to do with all the stuff that we're canning. So I've got some more Thai. I've got lots more of this. So if I go through this, I can grab some more Singapore chili. Seam, I've got some more downstairs if I use this up. The red hot sauce and this harissa sauce, green tomato relish, summer squash pickles, a couple of things of peaches, grape syrup, cranberry sauce. Down here is a whole nother section of jams and jellies. Grape jelly, plum jam, some stuff, a couple of leftover from the pantry challenge, strawberry rhubarb, raspberry, strawberry, and then some more zucchini bread jam, a couple things of peas. I love these, and then lots of beets. Down here, I've got some pickles that I need to use, pickled beets, definitely pickled asparagus, and dill pickle spears. I've got some pizza sauce and some pickled hot peppers. Down here, way down here, I've got crushed tomatoes and tomato sauce, and then Italian tomato sauce. And these probably will be the first thing that I try to start using up, just some tomato recipes. Yeah, so that's everything else came out of the pantry. Everything else got used up, and this is what I stocked it up with. I will be starting to grocery shop and replace, I need to stock up on some meat and that sort of stuff. And I'm just going to be doing sort of regular grocery shopping. And I think that I'll do some grocery haul videos. So there's no real restriction on spending money or whatever. I just want to use up this canning is the goal. So probably posting just some select meals that I'm making with the canning. No real time restriction, no real money restriction, just what kind of creative meals can I make with my canning to use it up as fast as possible. It's kind of neat because you guys already sort of know right at this moment what is in my fridge and freezer. So, you know, we all have an idea of what I might possibly be able to make with this stuff. And because I'm going to do grocery hauls going forward, you'll know what's coming into my house. Grocery haul pantry stocking videos. You'll have an idea of what's coming into my house to make more meals with. So it's kind of cool. If you've been watching the pantry challenge, you already know what's in my freezers and what I need to use. Lots of frozen stuff from the garden from last year has to get used up before the next garden season. So yeah, it's all about using home canning and my garden stuff in the freezers. And even if you don't do home canning, I think that some of the recipes will work for everybody. You can buy canned peas just regularly, and everybody has jam and pizza sauce and pickled asparagus, maybe even pickled beets, and obviously pickles, and then crushed tomatoes and tomato sauce. So hopefully these recipes will work for everybody, even if you're not doing home canning. I mean, you might not have summer squash pickles. That might be a thing you don't have. And this green tomato relish is just basically relish. That's what I use for relish. Yeah, so hopefully you can make adjustments if you actually don't do your own home canning with just regular items you can get at the grocery store for the meal ideas. Well, I know that there is a lot of debate. The way that I use up my canning is that as long as it's maintained a good seal, then it can last a really, really long time. However, what's in the jar loses nutritional value over time. So I really want to be replacing my stock of canned goods every year, year and a half, 2 years at the most. Although I believe that sugar in the jams keeps it for a lot longer. So you'll see older dates on my jams, sometimes 2018, and I'm not worried about those things. But I do want fresh, nice, new ingredients in my jars for us to eat and enjoy. I try to do new canning every year. Tomatoes I try to use up in a year and a half, but everything else, I'm not in such a hurry, but I do want the jars empty so that I can fill them with awesome new garden produce this year. Besides, if you're not eating your canning foods, what's the point of canning? I just don't need to do all that work if I'm not going to be actually eating my food. Well, I think that's everything that I'm going to bring up from the downstairs main pantry for now. And these are the things that I'd really like to use up before I start growing new things. So leave me a comment in the description below if this is something that you're interested in seeing. I'd love to come up with some more creative recipes. Obviously, I have the ones that are my go-to recipes, but I'm always looking for new and interesting ways to cook the same things that I grow all the time. Yeah, so I pretty much use these 2 books for my canning. Sometimes I go to the National Center for Preservation and Home Canning. I'll get that link too, but that's like the official website. I'll post it down below. But other than that, I use these 2 books currently. This is what I'm using. I don't try any untested recipes for canning, and I won't try old canning recipes. So, but I'll try to stay up to date. I try to check everything. I try to be as safe as possible. yeah, so that's what I do. This is the Bernardine. I think in the USA it's called the Ball Book, Complete Book of Home Preserving. And this is the all new Ball Book of Canning and Preserving. This has some really neat recipes. So I will provide links in the description below, affiliate links. If you click on them, I make a little bit of money, but I'll leave the links in the description below. I'm sure if you can, you already have these similar books. So this is what I use. Even if sometimes I change the name of things, I call it rhubarb barbecue sauce, but it's actually Victorian barbecue sauce in the books. So sometimes I call them different things. But all my canning has come from these two books. All the canning that you see in the cupboard has come from these two books. Even if I might have called it something different, if you want to know what it was, I can let you know. You can ask me in the comments and I can get the actual name of it if I've written something else on the jar lid. I'm not sure what I'm going to call this little series, but I'll come up with something. Canning, home canning cooking? Cooking from home canning cooking. I'm not sure. So I have been having a bit of a break this week from the end of the Pantry Challenge, but next week I will be coming out with just whatever cool, interesting meal ideas I come up with to use up my canning. I think it's going to be cool. I got to use it up. So as fast as I can. So any creative meal ideas to use up Italian tomato sauce or beets or what else? Or really any ideas for anything that you see in here would be fine and fabulous. And I would love to see what you guys use your home canning for. Yeah, that would be great. The grape syrup. Grape syrup, I'm also not too sure, other than putting it on pancakes. There's got to be something fun to do with that. And I've got cranberry sauce again. That's my last jar. I do have cranberries in the freezer, and I might do another batch of cranberry jam or cranberry sauce, but I've got to use that up first. So I know you guys are a great encyclopedia of brilliant ideas. So you know, feel free to share. Absolutely feel free to share. I've got grape jelly and grape syrup. I think these just didn't set one time when I was making grape jelly. That's what happened. Jam, always jam, always jam would be lovely and awesome. And these pickled hot peppers, my husband uses them, but he doesn't use a bunch of them. So I'd like to come up with a recipe that uses sort of more. I put them on pizzas sometimes, but there's got to be something else, right? Yeah, so feel free to give me lots of awesome suggestions. Like, thumbs up. You guys share this video if you know anybody else that would be interested, and subscribe to see more videos. Check out that join button and find out all the ways that you can help support my channel as well. Yeah, thanks for being here. See you next week.